Mist covers the dawn, a fleet of Viking longships cutting through the fog, returning home from a raid. Blood-stained and weary, the warriors stare at the distant mountains that signal their homeland. Among them is Eric Bloodhand, a tall and intimidated Viking leader with piercing eyes and a steely expression. At his side is Bajon Iron Fist, his loyal right-hand man who bears a quiet strength. They land at the shores of their village, greeted by a crowd of villagers, wives, children, and elders. The mood is mixed. Some cheer the warriors' return, while others mourn the sight of empty spaces in the fleet, marking those who didn't make it back. Later that day, Eric and Bajon hold a council in the village central longhouse. Warriors from neighboring clans arrive. Answer Eric's summons. Filling the hall with tension and the smell of wood smoke, Eric stands at the head of the gathering, his voice booming as he addresses the gathered clan. We are the sons of Odin. The blood of warriors flows in our veins. But I tell you, brothers, there is a place across the sea, one ripe with riches beyond our dreams. I call for a raid like none before. We will strike at the heart of Saxon lands. Murmurs ripple through the hall. Olaf the Biter, a veteran chieftain from a rival clan, challenges him, accusing Eric of leading the clan to certain death for his own glory. Eric gazes unflinching, but before he can respond, Bajon steps in, defending Eric's vision and loyalty.
Eric has never led us astray. What he speaks of is a chance for all of us to claim a future beyond mere survival.
The tension breaks as several warriors rally to Eric's side, inspired by Bajon's confidence. The clans reluctantly agree to Eric's plan, but the distrust lingers after the meeting. Eric and Bajon share a moment of respect, but Bajon subtly warns Eric about pushing too far and too fast. Returning to the hall, Eric is met by his wife Sigrid, a wise and strong-willed woman who questions his motives. How many more raids, Eric? How many more of our men must die before you are satisfied? Eric brushes off her concern, citing the need to secure their people's future. Sigrid, however, warns him that his pursuit of power must lead to ruin, not prosperity. Despite his confidence in his vision, Eric is left unsettled by her words. In the late evening, Eric and Bajon sit by a fire outside the village, sharing mead and discussing the challenges ahead. The scene deepens their bond, showing their constructive philosophies, while Eric is driven by ambition and legacy. Bajon is more pragmatic, focused on the well-being of the people. Bajon voices his concern.
We fight because it's who we are. But some question why we keep pushing so far. Not everyone want what you want, Eric.
Eric laughs it off, calling Bajon cautious, but the moment of tension shows the beginning of a rift. They drink in silence, both weighed down by the path they've chosen. Over the next few days, Eric and Bajon move through the village, recruiting men for the raid. They encounter a mix of eager young warriors and older men who worry about what another raid would cost them. Some of the elders question Eric openly, speaking of lost sons and broken families. Bajon handles these confrontations with patience, while Eric grows visibly frustrated, his patience wearing thin. One recruit stands out, a young warrior named Leif, who idolizes Bajon. Leif is eager to prove himself, boasting of his skills and recounting tales of Eric and Bajon's past glories. Bajon is amused by Leif's enthusiasm, but warns him that battle is not a game, and even the greatest warriors bear scars. Leif is undeterred, and Eric sees potential in his fearlessness. To boost morale, the villagers villagers hold a feast the night before the raid. The hall is filled with laughter, music, and drink, but underlying tensions remain. Eric gives a speech praising the bravery of his warriors while Sigrid watches from a distance, her expression unreadable. Bejan mingles with the villagers, easing their fears and sharing stories from past battles, showing his skill in maintaining unity. During the feast, Olaf the Bitter confronts Eric once more, questioning his abilities to lead and accusing him of seeking power at the expense of their people. The hall falls silent and the fight seems inevitable. But Eric holds his ground, challenging Olaf to a duel on the spot. Two clash ferociously, with Eric overpowering Olaf in a brutal display of strength. When the dust settles, Eric spares Olaf life but commands him to swear loyalty or leave. Humbled and furious, Olaf swears fealty, but warns that the gods would judge Eric if he leads them astray. The crowd erupts and cheers for Eric, but Bejan catches a glimpse of doubt in his friend's eyes. As the feast dies down, Eric steps outside to gaze at the dark sea. Deep in thought, Bejan joins him, sensing the weight on his leader's shoulders. Eric, usually fearless, emits a flicker of doubt, feeling the enormity of the path he's chosen.
Are we fools, Bejan, to believe we can carve our own destiny?
Bejan reassures him, but their words are interrupted by the faint sound of war horn echoing from the cliffs above. They exchange a tense look. The Saxons are rumored to have scouts nearby, and the raid is already in motion. Both men share a nod, steeling themselves for the battles to come.